All right, well, I will go ahead and get us started. My name is Alicia Mowry. I am the Director of Public Information here at the Delaware Area Career Center, and we're so excited to see so many families and parents just engaged in your students' education. Our principals are here to talk about just some of the logistics of being a DACC student. The whole purpose of these meetings is to help you and your students feel very comfortable on day one. So while we talk about a lot of things like attendance and transportation, I just want you to know that everything our principals are going to cover have been just carefully thought out and crafted for the benefit of your students to help them succeed in their time with us. They care so deeply about our students and about everyone who's coming in for the next year. This is a lot of great information that will help you as we go through. So I will say this one last time that this is being recorded. We'll share this out. We'll email it out to your inboxes along with the PDF of the slides. I am going to drop back in here just a second to answer questions in the chat. But I do encourage you, if you have a question that is very specific to your student, something that maybe contains private information, send us an email or give us a call. Don't put that out in a public forum. But anything else, feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we go along, and we'll try to address those as we get to those sections. So with that, I will hand this off to our lead principal, Mr. Mike Herzog.
All right. Well, thank you, Alicia, and good afternoon, and welcome to the DACC Principal Information Session. Whether you are a parent or a guardian of an incoming junior or joining us as a family of a senior entering one of our senior-only programs, we're excited to have you here today. Our goal is to help you feel prepared and confident heading into the 2025-26 school year. Take care of some welcomes or some introductions here of some folks that are going to be on the call today. Let me begin by introducing our administrative team. You'll be hearing from or working with these individuals throughout the school year and your students' time here at DACC. Not on the call today, but certainly somebody who we work closely with is Miss Trussley. She's our principal of student services. On the call today is Mr. Gaskell and Mr. Weaver. They are both principals of Career Tech. Mr. Herzog, that's myself. I am the lead principal for next year. And Mr. Gillum, who is not on the call, but he is our new Director of Secondary Operations. So just wanted to introduce them to you all. Just also know that together we focus on creating a safe and challenging and rewarding experience for you and your student. At DACC, our vision is really simple. We aim to empower, prepare, inspire, and connect every student who walks through our doors. That is our promise. And our mission is to elevate your life and the student's life. And that means giving students the skills, confidence, and opportunities that they need to succeed in whatever path they choose. The vision and mission shape every decision that we make and every opportunity we provide. So your student doesn't just attend DACC, they grow, they thrive, and they leave ready for what is next. Before we dive into the details, here's a quick overview of what we'll cover today. We'll start by reviewing some important dates and steps to complete before the school year begins. Things like registration, school fees, what to expect at schedule pickup. Then we'll walk through what a school day looks like, our safety procedures, and how transportation works. Next, we'll explain our unique academic model, including what Fridays look like, and talk about how we support students in managing hybrid learning. We'll wrap up with information about attendance, technology, and how to stay connected to us using the DACC app. So let's take a look at what needs to happen before the school year officially begins. In mid-July, we'll send a communication to families with all the details that you're going to need. This is going to include a parent to-do list to help keep track of everything. Some of these items will include completing the online registration, paying program and meal fees, submitting in any required immunization records, applying for free and reduced lunch if applicable, marking your calendar for the schedule pickup. If your student will be driving to school, there's also a parking permit process to be completed. InfoSnap is where you're going to enter your student's health and emergency contact information, apply for parking permits, and review key DACC policies. Please complete this step in a timely fashion so that you can avoid delays at the start of the year. This will be available at our acceptance night, which is next week on Thursday, April 24th. I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Gaskell at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Herzog. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I get to talk a little bit about finances here at our school. So on this slide, you'll see that like many of your home schools, we use what's called PaySchools Central to help families pay their fees and other things efficiently. So if you look at that highlighted section on this slide, you will see an important message. So if you are using PaySchools at your home school, you do need to create a new account for DACC that has a different email address than your homeschool account. So that is very important. So if you're already using it, you got to create a new account with us, and you got to use a different email address. So you cannot have two schools linked to the same email address. On the next slide, talk a little bit about paying school fees. So there's three options that families have in paying fees, and fees do vary by programs. First option, of course, is paying through PaySchools. So there is some information there. And there's also, when you get this slideshow, there's a link with a step sheet that assists you in working through that process for how to use PaySchools. The second option would be to pay by check, and your student can bring that check into the main office and give that to Mrs. Robinson, who is our administrative assistant who oversees school fees. And then the third option is that we do have a payment plan, and that is also works through Mrs. Robinson in our main office. And that would give you a chance to set up partial payments over the course of the year or semester, whatever fits your financial budget to be able to complete payment of those fees this year. So three options for you to pay those school fees. On the next slide, we talk a little bit about school lunch and paying for student meals. So student meals are really available for students who are full day students here at DACC. And so we do have accounts that parents can put money onto so the kids don't have to carry cash. Obviously, first option there is using PaySchools. So you can set up and add money to your student meal account through PaySchools. And there's a step sheet that shows you how to do that when you click on that link. Second option would be to write a check. And have that check either given to, in the slide here, we say give that to the student's lab teacher, but many students also just give that directly to our cafeteria manager. Either way, that check needs to get to our cafeteria manager, and then he processes that into the system. And then the third option is to pay cash at the register. Let's see, Chromebooks. We certainly, being a career technical education school, we expect our students to have technology at their fingertips. Most of our programs are one-to-one labs. I think the only labs that don't require Chromebooks would be our technology labs on the second floor and our engineering labs. So we do ask that students in labs have their own device, so they can families are welcome to have students bring their own devices, which can be a Chromebook, it can be a laptop, it can be whatever device would function properly in classrooms and give students access to the materials that they need. We also have Chromebooks available here for purchase for $250. And if you, when you come in and request one of those, we will give that to you, get that set up for you, and then that charge for that Chromebook will show up on your fees later on in the fall. So plenty of options there, but again, we do expect our kids to have their own device to be able to participate in class activities. And finally, no, not finally, on the next slide, we've got our message about free and reduced application, and just a message to families that this applies to, that if you do have a free and reduced application on file at your home school, DACC does require that we have our own application here on file as well. So you'll have to do it at both places, both at home school and here at DACC. If you have any questions about that, you can certainly reach out to us and we'll help you through that process. And finally, not money related, but important, is the message about immunizations. You've heard this, I'm sure, at your home schools. Same applies to DACC. You got to have that meningitis booster before your student starts 12th grade. So work with your home schools to make sure that we also get notification of that immunization. And there is an exclusion date that associate schools have if that is not completed by. So you'll see announcements about that. Take care of that as soon as possible. Get that out of the way. Thank you, Mr. Herzog. I think that's all for me.
All right, we'll turn this over to Mr. Weaver.
Hi guys, welcome to DACC. Excited to welcome you guys for next school year. This next slide, our school calendar, this is one of our biggest question items that we get from students and families, and it's about our school calendar versus their home district's school calendar. We wish they could line up day for day, but they do not. We have lots of conflicts that happen where homeschools don't have school than we do, or vice versa. One thing to note that is very important is if there is a scheduled day off for your home district calendar and we are in session here at DACC, the expectation for students is to still come to school here at DACC. That's not for like a calamity day, like a snow day or a day similar to that. Those obviously we recommend following what your home district is doing. But if it's a scheduled day off, you do still need to come here to DACC. Next slide there, Mr. Herzog. Transportation, this is also another really big question item for us here at DACC. I'm our administrator who's in charge of transportation for working with our home districts. My biggest piece of advice is reach out to your home district transportation department for any specific questions that you have. We do not have any buses or transportation here at DACC, but we work with each home district's transportation department, and they do provide transportation to their students. It looks a little different for each of our districts. So if you have specific questions, you're welcome to reach out to me, but your most reliable source is going to be to reach out to your home district transportation department. For our equine wildlife programs, your home districts do provide transportation to those offsite locations. A lot of times that bus would maybe come here first. Your student would stay on that bus and then go to those locations. And then our zoo students, we do not provide transportation to and from the zoo. Your home districts do not provide transportation for this. So the expectation is that students are able to get there, whether it's you have your student driving or a parent dropping them off, or if you are sharing rides with other students that are going to the zoo. Next slide, Mr. Herzog. So for student parking permits, for those students that are planning on driving, we do have parking here at DACC for students. We do require them to get a parking permit. They would do that here through our main office. They would have to go through the registration process. We have to have various information associated with them being able to drive and their car or their vehicle. And it is only $5, but they need to, if they plan on driving here at all during the course of the school year, we do have them get a parking pass. And for upcoming events, some very important events. This was mentioned earlier. Our acceptance night is next week, April 24th. You'll have a structured session with your instructor. You'll be able to see the building and meet other individuals. And then the next upcoming event that we have is our scheduled pickup night. And that's August 6th. You'll get to get some important information and even troubleshoot your situations that you have with technology, or get everything set up with your Chromebooks, pay your school fees, etc. So that's on August 6th before school starts, which is August 13th. That is our first day of school, and it will be here before we know it. Thank you, Mr. Herzog.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Appreciate that. Yes, he is totally right. It'll be here. The new year will be here before you can believe it. So, all right. So we'll talk a little bit about when school starts. Just first of all, I want you to know that student safety is our top priority here at DACC. We keep all exterior doors locked during the school day. When students arrive, we have staff positioned at entrances to supervise and ensure that only DACC students are entering. After arrival, arrival times that is, those doors do remain locked, and approved visitors do come into the building, but they go through the office and through that process. So I just want you to feel good about that is our top priority, and we continue to maintain that, and we really pay attention to building safety, student safety, staff safety. We also conduct routine safety drills throughout the school year to be everybody prepared. So just put your mind at ease there. In order to maintain a safe and professional environment, students are required to wear their DACC ID badge at all times. If they forget it, they can get a temporary one from the office. If they happen to lose it, replacements are $5. We also follow a dress for success approach, meaning that each lab has its own expectations, and some may require uniforms or safety gear depending on that specific field. These guidelines help students build habits that match real workplace expectations and prepare them for life after high school. So we place great emphasis on that. A little bit about the daily schedule here. So it kind of depends if you're a half day or a full day student as to what your day here looks like. So really most juniors in level 1 labs attend in the morning from 7:50 to 10:50 a.m. that is. Zoo School is the exception, and it meets from 12:30 to 3 p.m. Full day juniors take academic classes in the afternoon and eat lunch here at DACC. So please take note that half-day students must have a lunch period scheduled at their home schools. Fridays are hybrid learning. We'll talk a little more about that here in a couple of slides, but that is hybrid learning for full-day students in their academic classes. Students work from home on these assignments that count toward both their learning and their attendance. Also note that we have some programs such as our flexible learning options that attend in person Monday through Thursday. Those are after school programs, after traditional hour programs that is. So they start at 2:45, and their Fridays are in a hybrid fashion as well. So just a little bit about our schedule. To talk about our academic model, it is very unique. So and I've overseen the academic programming here for the last 6 years, so it's kind of near and dear to me. But our academic model is designed to give students flexibility and build independent learning skills. Full day students have academic classes in person Monday through Thursday. Half of that time is spent in what we call traditional classroom, and the other half is spent in what we call the big space. And that's where they really take some ownership of their own learning with independent learning opportunities. They still have teachers there to help them, but we call those student schedule days when they're in the big space. That's a term that your students may become familiar with. As I mentioned before, Fridays are hybrid, meaning that students complete assignments at home and submit their assignments no later than Monday at 7:50 a.m. That's for attendance purposes, which we'll talk about a little bit later. The first hybrid Friday will be on September 5th. Our academic teachers do host office hours on Hybrid Friday to provide assistance for students in their coursework should they need it. So they're not out there on their own. If they need to contact their teacher, they have Microsoft Teams office hours set up so they can meet through Teams in that fashion to get the assistance that they need. A little more about our academic model. I just want to hit home on the purpose, and that is to prepare students for life beyond high school, not just academically, but professionally. This model builds 21st century skills like independence, independent learning, that is, time management, goal setting, and the ability to use technology effectively. It also creates more flexibility for students to take part in work-based learning experiences, giving them real-world exposure while still in high school. As you can see, everything we do here is designed to give our students an edge in their future path. We know that independent learning is new for many students, so we don't expect them just to figure it out on their own. At the start of our school year, our instructors provide training on how to manage hybrid assignments and use Canvas effectively, and that's our LMS, our learning management system. Our tech team is also available to support students with devices or their login if they have issues. Throughout the year, staff monitor grades, attendance, and engagement, and reach out when there are concerns. Sorry, 1 second, my lights went out. So there we go. Lights are back on. We paid the bill. All right. So parents can really help us out by asking to see hybrid assignments on Thursday nights from your students. And this would be to encourage them to submit them before Monday's deadline, and reminding students to join office hours if they're struggling. My strong recommendation is for you to stay connected with teachers by email if you have concerns about hybrid assignments. I would really recommend starting that early in the school year so we can get students on the right path and get them in good habits. Let's go to our next slide here. Attendance. This is also an area of mine that I've overseen for the last 6 years. So I'll try not to bore you with all the details, but just want to let you know that attendance is critical to success here at DACC, both in labs and academics. For unexpected absences, illnesses that happen, we ask that parents use the report an absence form. That's on our website. If you could please complete that by 8:30 a.m. for that day, that'll allow us to make the appropriate changes for attendance codes in our system. For planned time off, we do have a prearranged absence form, and we ask that you try to complete that 3 days in advance. That form is on our website, and it's also at our attendance window here at the school. Please note that our board policy allows for 15 absences that are parent excused. Beyond that, we would need an official document like a doctor's note or something like that for the absence to be marked excused. We still want you to call in if you've exceeded the 15 parent call-ins. We will mark it unexcused, but we will mark it parent called in unexcused. So it's a little different than just a no call, no show. Highlighted there in yellow at the bottom of the screen is really important for you to note. And Mr. Weaver did speak to this earlier, so I just want to reemphasize it. If DACC is open or in session and a student's homeschool is not in session, it's a scheduled day off for that home district, then students are expected to be here at DACC. We still take attendance. Please know that transportation is still provided by the homeschool on those days. It may look different. You may have to reach out to the school or that transportation department to find out what the difference is in transportation, but it is still provided. All right, so a little more about attendance when we talk about hybrid learning days. As mentioned previously, Fridays are hybrid learning days, and completing assignments is how students earn attendance credit. If an assignment isn't submitted by that 7:50 a.m. deadline, then the teacher does go in and mark it as an unexcused absence for their class period. That will count as an unexcused absence. So Ohio law tracks attendance by hours. Some of you may be familiar with this. If this is totally new to you, that's okay. I'll just try to keep it brief. Basically, when a student hits 65 total absence hours, excused or unexcused, we send home a letter indicating that the student is excessively absent. It doesn't mean that they're truant. We just have to notify you in writing. Once a student meets or exceeds 72 unexcused hours, they're actually considered to be truant at that time. That would lead to required meetings with me, the school, court liaison to develop a plan for improvement. So we definitely want to avoid that. So my tip to you all is to stay on top of those hybrid assignments and notify the office of absences. That is really the best way to keep attendance in good standing. All right, we're coming to the end here. One of the easiest ways to stay connected is by downloading our DACC app. Just go to your app store on your phone. The advantage of this is that it gives you quick access to news, upcoming events, lunch menus, PowerSchool, even attendance reporting. So we encourage every family to have the app installed so that you can stay in the know. That really wraps up our main information for today. And I know it's a lot. So if you have any questions, now is a great time to ask. Just want you to know that we're here to make this transition to the Career Center smooth for you and your students. So thank you so much for being on this call, and we hope that we've shared some information that will be helpful to you.
And we can stay on the call for just a minute if you have questions. We were asked, is there a list of which labs are hybrid? So what's the best way for parents to find out if their individual lab is participating in Hybrid Fridays?
So I can answer.
Yeah, go ahead,
I can
Mr.
answer
Weaver.
that one. Yeah. I would say reach out to your lab instructor. That would be a good question for them, because our list of labs for this year may not be consistent with next year. Each of our lab instructors, they have the autonomy to decide whether or not they want to do it for their program. So some that are doing it this year might not do it next year, and some that aren't doing it this year may do it next year. So I would say just reach out to your lab instructor. They will be the best source of information for that.
And I know a few of you are interested in sharing this call and the slides with family members. So as soon as we get this all downloaded and put together, we will email it to you, and it will also be on that student and parent portal. So you can share it with whoever else that you would like to have. I know for a lot of us, it takes a village to get our kids to and from school and all of their activities. So the more family members who are in the know, the better. So when are students notified if they're accepted for the full day program? So if you received your acceptance notice for your lab program, then you're in. And I know the acceptance language around academics may have seemed a little not clear. Essentially, you're accepted into academics unless there is some other extenuating circumstance that we may have reached out to you about, and we would have set a meeting with you and your counselor at your home school. So if that hasn't happened, then you are in for a full day.
Yes, and that's a great plug or great answer, Alicia, to allow me to give a plug. If you are interested in becoming full day next year, we still have spots available. So if you're a half day, if you've been accepted as a half day student, and you are interested in becoming full day, certainly reach out to your homeschool counselor. They will contact, our counselors here. If that's the case. We actually just sent out a Google form recently, I think as of today, so that if you're interested in making a switch from half day to full day, we still have spots open. So, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, check your email inbox if you heard about academics in this presentation and you think, oh, that sounds great. I didn't know that was an option. Check your email inbox for that form that we just sent this morning. I'm looking to see if I can grab it and drop it in the chat, but otherwise it should be in your inbox waiting for you if you haven't seen it yet. And this is not the last that you'll have access to these principals. They will be here on acceptance night. Our counselors will be here that night. We have lots of staff who are here and ready to answer your questions. And again, at any time between now and, through the rest of your child's time with us, you can reach out at any time, give us a call, send us an email, and we're happy to walk you through the process and answer any of your questions. All right, I don't see any other questions coming through. You will get this recording in your inbox. Thank you all for joining us. It's just a really great and easy way to get this information in front of you, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us. And thank you, Mr. Herzog, Mr. Gaskill, Mr. Weaver, for sharing all of your insights and helping all of our families get ready for the upcoming school year.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a great
Thanks,
rest of 24-25. See you next year.